second show.
So that was it. I have another doctor story too, if you want to hear it. You guys want to hear it? It's a little bit different. This concerns a dentist. Now this dentist was the biggest son of a bitch I've ever met in my life. He was the nastiest man. He had this place called Discount Dental. Is that what it was? Do you remember? It was Discount Dental. And so anyway, he'd fixed my mother's teeth before and gave her a really good price on it. So she was forever indebted to this dentist, apparently. For whatever dental needs we had, we would go to Dr. I'm not going to say his name. He's in prison now, again. Anyway, he was a drug fiend, and he got charged with some tax evasion stuff. So anyway, so I go to this dentist because I hadn't slept in days. My teeth were killing me. I had this back tooth out here was completely abscessed. And I didn't know at the time, I just thought I have just a really bad cavity. So I go to the dentist, and I'm so tired by this time and just worn out from not sleeping because, again, the pain was pretty bad. And I sit in his chair, and so he looks at my mouth. He's just like, okay, we need to pull it. That's it. He just looked at it. He just looked at it and said, we need to pull the tooth. Like I said before, when you're dealing with people in authority like that, you're really not in a position to argue that much. And I was just like, all right, fine. I'm like, that's fine. Go ahead and take it out. That's okay. I didn't need it. It was way in the back, and I didn't need to like bite into anything. So I said, go ahead and take it out. So he reaches in with his hand, and he grabs a hold of the tooth. He didn't have any tools, just with his hand. And he's pushing down on my jaw and pushing down on it until I thought the damn thing was going to snap in half. He was applying so much pressure to my jaw. It was painful again. I have a lot of experience with pain, I guess, as you can tell. So he's pushing down, and I just thought my jaw was just going to come completely unhooked. And so it was hurting so bad that like these two little baby tears would just kind of roll down. I wasn't sobbing, I wasn't weeping, it was just like a reaction kind of thing. And he stood back a little bit, he said, oh, so we feel like being a crybaby today, do we? And I was like, you fucking son of a bitch, you're ripping my teeth out of my mouth, I can cry if I goddamn want to. So he's just like, all right, he's just like, let me just go ahead and jiggle it again. So he reaches back in there with his hand, and this time it was even worse. He was just, just pushing down and pushing down. And so he pulled his hand back again, and I noticed his hand, and there was blood all down here, and I could feel blood just running down my face, all over the bib. There was blood everywhere. And so he says, all right, he's like, we're almost done. And I was just like, I don't think I can take much more of this. And he turned around and he laughed at me, and he threw my tooth on the metal tray. The bastard had pulled my tooth out with his bare hand. With his bare hand. So thank God he's in jail. Thank God. If he wasn't in jail, I'd practice voodoo on him, which I've never done, but I'm tempted. Which brings me to this other point. I'm watching the news the other night, right? And I just hear these things randomly, that we're invading Haiti. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, okay, we're invading Haiti, but does anyone else besides me, I know my friend Jamie gets this, but anyone else besides me get the fact that Haiti has something really, really bad that we have no defense over? No defense whatsoever, and it's not AIDS, and it's not like they have like any big, power bombs or anything. Those people have voo motherfucking do. Those people have voo. They have tribes of these like living zombie armies, living dead, and I fully believe this. They bite heads off chickens and drink their blood. They stick things in little dolls. So I'm thinking, God, instead of giving these guys guns, just tell them don't let anyone touch your hair, because if you let any voodoo woman get a hold of your hair, that's it, you're finished for. A strand of hair and you're just done. So just make sure that those boys keep track of their hairbrushers. If they don't, the whole thing is over. It's over in one fell. I don't care how much ammo we have or troops over there. Voodoo is a nasty, nasty thing. I've wanted to practice it on ex-boyfriends, basically. That's pretty much it, because I don't really have a great deal of luck in dating people. And I'm not real, well, I do have a good idea of why that is. I'm generally offensive, I've got a big mouth, I drink too much, I swear too much, I smoke too much. But still, the guys that I hang on to or that I go out with usually are kind of in the same boat that I am. So you would think that birds of a feather would kind of stick together, but that's not true. I had one boyfriend who I lived with him for 5 years. And actually our relationship was like a whole 8-year kind of thing. And he moved up to Seattle, which was fine, and he was, dating people up there, and I was living down here, and I was dating people down here. And everything was going okay. We still basically had each other. We trusted each other. Everything was going all right. Until the one day he called me and said, I have to tell you something. And I was like, what? He was like, I got another girl pregnant. And I was like, oh, good, Aaron. Good job. That's good. That's great. So he left with the inbred hippie girl who's now his wife. They got married this weekend. And so they're happy and they're together and they have a nice little family. But meanwhile, I still have all the old shit that he left me. I've got the dogs and I've got the house, which I can't take care of. And I don't have anything to take care of it with, because when he left, he took all the power tools. All I had was like an electric sander and a screwdriver. So there really wasn't much left for me to fix anything in that house with. Another boyfriend I had, and I swear to some people that I wouldn't talk about this, but it's such a good story that I can't pass it up. And that was with the super demon Brock, and he was in a couple. You want to talk about voodoo? He deserves it more than anybody else does. He was cute. He was really cute, and I liked him. He looked just like Greg Allman, and Greg Allman is just like God to me. You know, I mean, Greg Allman is like the beginning and the end. There's no middle. There's just Greg Allman. I wait for him every day to come by my house and just, you know, take me away, but it's never going to happen. So I just listen to CDs. But anyway, I saw Brock the first time, and he looked just like Greg Allman, and I was just like, okay, he's cute and he's cool. The only thing was that he had a girlfriend. And so I was just like, it smells like a bad situation, Laurie. Probably oughtn't get involved in it. But, you know, my other side said, nah, you know, he probably hates her, which he said that he did. He hated her. He wanted to move out. The whole big song and dance, and I fucking fell for it. I fell for the whole goddamn thing. Hook, line, and sinker. So we were together for about 4 months or so. This girl, by the way, was like an ex-prostitute, and she was really fat. And she wasn't very pretty, and she was dumb as a box of fucking rocks. So she wasn't very bright at all. And so Brock finally did move out with my friend Jeff. Brock begged him, please, Jeff, move out with me. I've got to get away from this girl. I need to get out, and this girl's driving me crazy. So I thought everything was going to be okay until one day I drove up to Brock's house, and he was breaking up with me. Although he didn't really intend to break up with me, all he was going to do was basically move out of state without telling me. And so there he was, packing up all of his shit in this hippie van. And it was like, great. I got dumped for an ex-prostitute, an inbred hippie girl, and I've also been dumped for other guys, too. 4 of my ex-boyfriends were gay. 2 of them even dated each other. And that's true, and that's just the kind of luck that I have. But that's okay, because I have luck in other things, like I guess in writing, and I have good friends and things like that. So as far as that goes, you know, it's okay.